Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ASM 2021, raising money for Beyond Blue and working to help reduce the stigma around mental health issues and help people achieve their best possible life. Coming up right now is a puzzle game, which I'm sure we want to strap on our thinking hats for. We have Yoshi running Puyo Tetris.
Hello.
Over to you, Yoshi.
Alright, so welcome to Puyo Tetris. As you can expect, we will be playing both Puyo and Tetris. Puzzle game mashup. Puyo is a game from the it's been around for 30 years actually. This year is its 30th anniversary, and it's heavily inspired by Tetris, but plays rather differently. And you know, I think I can explain as we go along. So, without further ado, let's start the counter in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so first up, first thing to notice, it's very heavily versus focused. So what you're going to be seeing a lot of is me sending garbage to the opponent, and that is how we're going to be running a lot of this. That's how we're going to knock out our opponents. The most efficient way to do that is through perfect clears. As you can see, that is going to send a lot of garbage. If I perfectly clear my board, it has about a... The setup I'm using uses about a 70% clear rate. There's 100% clear rate setups, but they're not very run safe because I don't have the brain to think about filtering in like 7 different pieces after only setting down 2 of them. Because as you can see, we've also got 5 previews. That is what I'm going to be using in order to figure out how to solve each case. Here we also have a few challenges along the way. While the game is very versus focused, it's got a few challenges to filter out the story a little more. It's got 70 stages, we've got 7 acts to play through, and there's going to be a variety of modes to showcase during that time. So stuff like this where it's just clearing lines as fast as possible and stuff like that. Here we have our next versus stage. I'm going to go for those double perfect clears once again. You'll see me playing both Puyo and Tetris along the way. I think I actually missed that perfect clear. That was a bit unfortunate. That's alright. We have our T-spins to aid us. If you're not aware of the T-spinners, it's where you set up a place where the T piece can rotate into, and you'll send a bunch of garbage with that too. Not as much as perfect clears, but it's still a fair amount of damage. What's interesting actually is that you may think that perfect clears are overpowered, and you'd be right, actually. Similar to, if you've seen Splatoon speedruns, you've probably seen that the story mode uses old versions of the maps. And it's similar here. The balance that is in the story mode is not the same as the current balance. It has not been updated at all. It's hard-coded. A lot of the stuff in the story mode is hard-coded, and that includes the balances as well. So stuff like double perfect clears, which used to just literally wipe people out, right? It was very overpowered. You could do nothing against it. It was just a mess. It was the meta and ridiculous, honestly. Also, you might hear a bit of background noise. There are a lot of kids running around. It's bit frantic, but you know, this game's a bit frantic too, so honestly it's fine. Here we have our first Tetris stage. Perfect clears still do a bunch of damage in this as well, but a little bit more than in Puyo vs Tetris. In Tetris vs Tetris, it sends a whole half a board worth of garbage. I didn't get a second perfect clear here. So if you get 2 perfect clears, it's an instant knockout. The difference here is that because both players are playing Tetris, they can actually react to each other, which means that they haven't nerfed it. It still sends 10 lines regardless of whether or not you have... No, sorry. If both players are playing Tetris, it'll still send that 10 lines, which is a whole lot of stuff. But the difference is because Puyo relies on building chains. We'll see that action a bit later. But because it's more of a slow-moving game, Tetris is very action-packed. It's very much like spamming lines to each other, right? Sending a bunch of lines to each other very fast. Puyo is more like a fighting game, right? You have your pokes, your jabs. It's a lot more building up to a final kill, if you call it that. But that'll let me make a little more sense soon. Okay, 1 perfect clear here. I think I can get the second one here too. Tetris perfect clear. Lovely. And a triple perfect clear too. Wonderful. Was that 4 perfect clears? I don't know. I lose track. So that's very optimal. 20-second stage there. nearing the end of Act 1, and moving into Puyo vs. Puyo. So finally, you're going to be seeing a bit of Puyo action here. What the goal is to clear groups of 4 Puyos at a time, but in order to send more garbage to your opponent, what you have to do is kill a lot of Puyos at once. And just like that, big chunky 2-chain. Chunky gang represent. We are going to be able to take her out just like that. What you'd actually see in proper competitive matches is players building big chains against each other. The thing with that is that even if you send that huge 2-chain, it's going to do a bunch of damage to the opponent. But during that time, they have the time to actually build up a longer chain, right? They have time to build up a, say, a 5-chain, right? So that would be where pieces are falling for 5 moves. And that will overwhelm your 2-chain. So it's not optimal to actually play like this against real people. It's just that the AI plays slow enough that you can actually do this. This is actually not optimal either, I think. Yeah, I sent a bit more than I had to, but still pretty good. It'll do. It'll do the job. Just have to wait. There is a bit of RNG here too. The AI can sometimes be a bit nicer and stack up in column 3 a bit more, and sometimes it doesn't though. Because that is the death spot. For Puyo, you get knocked out if you reach the top of the 3rd column, but in Tetris, it is just if your board fills up. If your next piece can't spawn, essentially. Similar to Dr. Mario, it has a similar death mechanic. That's how it works, at least. Alright, this is very clean, actually. If I get another yellow, perfect. Got one. Good stream luck. Good marathon luck. And the opponent decided to put a few pieces in column 3 for us. Heightened it for us. As you can see, only 5 rows of Puyos, or nuisance Puyos, garbage Puyos, can fall at once. We're into Act 2 now. So, because the Puyo board is 12 tiles high, if the opponent doesn't put anything in column 3, it'll require 3 cycles. Oh my gosh, I missed off the perfect clear. That's alright. We can improvise. We can improvise. With a T-spin triple. Ah, yes. Modern Tetris also gives you a lot of funky spins. You have a lot to work with. Alright. And the game even rewards you for it in the case of T-spins. Alright. Sign. There we go. Nice work. Unfortunate misdrop there, but, you know, it happens. Ah, yes. Right. The story mode. That's what we're skipping cutscenes for. So yeah, it might be a bit of a mystery what we're actually trying to run here. It's a bit of a mystery. You'd think it'd be score-based. A lot of puzzle games are very score-based, but the Puyo franchise is known for its interesting story modes. So they're not very... I wouldn't say they have the deepest plots, but they're a lot of fun. The character interactions are great. It's what makes Puyo very standout. It has a lot of personality. Tetris is very... You think of the blocks, you know. There's just blocks. But when it comes to Puyo, it's more than just the gameplay itself. There's all the quirky characters, there's a lot of... Again, the stories are great. So they range from stuff like the world being flooded by Puyos, and the characters visiting the 7 wonders of the world in order to... I don't know, they did something. They traveled around the world, visited the 7 wonders, battled at each of them, and it did nothing. I don't know. They went there by train though. That was fun. They got to the Bermuda Triangle by train as well. I don't know how they got there, but... I don't know. The logic is great. But also, so that's one of the plots of the game. Another one of them revolves around the main antagonist, whose name is literally Satan. He expands the sun because he wants a tan. And the main protagonists, the reason they're doing something, the reason there's a story, is because they don't like the sun so huge. And they go to his castle and beat him up for it. So, you know. Might not be the deepest stories. Maybe there's a hidden message there. Maybe. I don't know. You can all theorize about it if you'd like to. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'd be interested. Okay. I wasted time. I thought the AI was not going to be taken out. Sometimes they take a moment. Bit of a time loss here. That's alright. But yeah, that's what we're running in this one. In this game, the story revolves around us traveling... Because we're trying to find the source of the 2 worlds merging. That's why Puyo and Tetris have been wrapped up in each other. The worlds have started merging. It's starting to rain Puyos. It's starting to rain Tetraminos. It is very mysterious. No one knows what's going on. And so the protagonists here, Ringo, who's this girl here, and T, the guy in purple, they're going around trying to find the source of it all and meeting a bunch of their friends along the way. Alright, Fever Trial here. So there's just been a lot going on in the background. Mostly just... What you saw earlier, actually, in my Puyo vs Tetris matches. So, while in the Puyo vs Puyo matches, you can do like just a huge 2-chain, and that's enough to take out the opponent. In Puyo vs Tetris, the damage scales a bit differently, because if you were able to do that in an actual match, again, it would be broken, right? Puyo would just be absolutely broken. But here, we're going to see another Puyo vs Tetris match here. you actually do need to chain in order to send garbage to the opponent. So that's what I've been using here. I use a pattern that's pretty consistent. It has a lot of ways it can adapt to the RNG, because it may seem like there's a lot of RNG involved in Puyo, but really, that's the challenge of the game. It's being able to adapt on the fly. You have 2 previews, and that's what you have to work with in order to build chains. You need about a 6 chain in order to do enough damage here. If you have a strong enough 5, it might be enough, but a 6 is usually what I aim for. And if the AI doesn't clear any lines, you're good. But she cleared a couple lines. Alright, of course. Thank you. Good attack. Wonderful. Alright. It was not too bad. There are some very RNG moments in the speedrun, at least. When you're playing competitive, not so much. In the speedrun, though, there's a lot of time lost that you can come across. So we'll see if we come across some. We're actually going to come up to a big run killer soon. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, the most efficient way to clear these stages is clearing groups of 5. I don't know why leveling up is through clearing groups of 5. I don't know who made that design choice. It makes no sense at all. Everyone used to think, oh, you just build big chains and that's how you clear this stage fast. No, you just clear 1 chains. I don't really understand what that was going through their mind either, but whatever. So here, swap. My favorite game mode competitively. It is super fun. You swap between Puyo and Tetris every 25 seconds. Wonderful. In speedrunning, it is the bane of my existence. It is absolutely horrible, right? So you swap every 25 seconds. Fun, except if you don't clear in 25 seconds, it'll swap, and all of your progress will have been for nothing. It'll be no, nada. Yes, go, stop. 1 second left. There's a lot of pressure to get your opponent defeated before it cycles. Otherwise, you miss 25 seconds essentially. You've wasted 25 seconds. Not a good time. Not a good time at all. Alright, next swap stage. It's given me Puyo a lot. Tetris is actually a lot more consistent because it is a more fast-paced game, but we'll see if we can make it work. If you get some good RNG here, you can actually make it work as well. We'll see what happens. Alright, we just need one more blue. Alright. Now we just need the opponent to not clear anything. Okay, they can't clear anything. We're good. We're looking alright.
No, you can't.
It depends on how fast she puts these pieces down. Oh, dear. Please, please, please.
No, you can't.
And even though it looks like I took her out, it's nice and competitive play again because it lets you do some very cool comebacks. You have 25 seconds to come back now. I'm misdropping a lot, but if not, there's just trouble. I'm just trying to get a T-spin here. Thank you.
It's coming.
Please, opponent, please go away.
No, you can't.
So yeah, swap, very big time losses, very big ones. Not fun to deal with. Alright, last swap stage for this act though, and the end of this act in fact. Alright, we got Puyo again, so we'll see, come on. Can we get some good marathon luck? Come on. Let's do it. Oh, these are very nice pieces. These are very nice pieces, I like it. Okay, just give me a red, just give me a red. Ah! This is gonna be fast enough, we'll see. Come on. AI just needs to be a little faster. They didn't put anything in column 3. Alright. And they're gonna not let us through again. No worries. This is why we have this is why the world record time is so different from the time that we've set as our estimate, because this is far too common. Alright. No problem. And again, that's why Tetris is more consistent. You can see that Tetris had 7 seconds remaining. Right, into Act 3, we're introduced to our new game mode, Big Bang. In this one, they just give you predetermined groups, I guess, formations, and all you have to do is clear them. It's very nice. Nice and simple. They give you all the pieces you need, and you just have to fill in the pattern. It's very good for learning how the pieces interact with each other, and good for learning how to go fast. You might be questioning why I'm not just hard dropping my pieces like this whole time. You'll see. It's to do with the score. So how you beat your opponent in this is a little unique. You'll see there's a timer up there, 60 seconds. Don't worry, it's not as bad as swap. The idea is, once we finish this 60 seconds, we'll have health bars, right? And how much damage you do to the opponent is determined by how many puzzles you've cleared. And that allows you to... I missed the funny number! That's what I was going for. That is why I was not hard dropping all my pieces. Hard dropping your pieces gives you a little score bonus. I overshot it a little bit. It's okay, we have another chance for it later on. There, you can see at the bottom of our screens we've got a green, bunch of green, and you can see I'm depleting her health bar. So, if you undershoot, you're in a lot of trouble. You are going to run into a lot of problems. You're going to have to cycle all over again. You wasted 60 seconds, bad time loss, and a bit of additional time as well on top of that. Oh, this stage is fun. You don't need to clear any lines. Yep, that's it. Do a T-spin. You win. It's not the dev intended way, but when is speedrunning the dev intended way? Alright, here we've got a fever trial. Here we're just clearing puzzles, right? I need to check my notes actually for this one. There is a way to clear each stage most efficiently that I've researched, so that's what we're aiming for here. Looking good. They gave us very nice pieces. Yeah, perfect. Cool. And when you finish your objective, you can actually just top yourself out, and that's it. Happy times. It may be 1 star, but it's good enough for speedrunning. Alright. Another big bang stage came on up. This one is Puyo vs Puyo. Puyo works a little differently. As you saw in the Fever stages, you get preset chains. So it's a little more difficult than Tetris. Tetris is very just put stuff in the hole. In Puyo though, you have to figure out where the trigger of a chain is and how to clear it from there. The other big thing here though, big RNG as well. At least with Tetris, the AI is very consistent. It'll clear a certain amount of lines every single run. Because AI just, like, it moves at the same speed every time. In Puyo, it just depends on what pieces the AI gets and how it wants to act. Sometimes it'll be really smart. Sometimes it'll be really dumb. So you can see that it actually missed. That was not the right way to clear that chain. And you actually need to react to how much the opponent clears, though. Because that's how it works. With Tetris, since they are so consistent, the score that they get is also consistent. Here, because they clear, like, really random amounts of chains, they will end with a very random amount of points, so you have to be able to react to it. It's sometimes the opponent will drag it out for ages, and sometimes they won't. So we'll just have to hope that she's not... That S here, this is S, that she is not rude to us. Please don't be. That's an 8 chain. Okay, we're keeping up with her. We need to be a little above her. We just have to hope she doesn't clear this chain, because if she does... Oh, we're good, we're good! Alright. Marathon luck again, maybe. Good stuff. Looking good. We get a good 1 cycle. So, the reason why I'm not going above and beyond as well is because... So, going lower, it makes sense that you just won't do enough damage. If you go above, though, it'll keep playing the damage animation, and you'll do overkill damage, essentially. You don't want that in the speedrun, because you'll lose some time. It's not as bad as underkilling, so you'd always want to underkill instead of... Oh, sorry. You'd probably prefer to overkill rather than underkill. But, ideally, you just hit it on the rock, and happy times. You win. Right, 20 lines here. Oh, no, misdrops. That's okay. We're gonna make this work anyway. And happy times. Alright, 23 seconds, not bad. I'll take that. 20 lines, 23 seconds. Not too bad. Another tiny troll coming up now. Okay. More sets of 1 chains. Our favorite. It's funny, actually. In competitive play, 1 chains are very effective. Like at low-level play, you're trying to make chains, but at high-level play, timing 1 chains is very, very useful. It can completely destroy the opponent's chain if they're not paying attention. So it's very reactionary. I was talking about how it's very much like a fighting game, and it is, because you're always having to react to the opponent. In Tetris, you can kind of just do your thing, you do your own thing. In Puyo, though, you're always watching the opponent for what they are doing, whether they're going to send a 1-chain poke to you. Just like in fighting games, you're always keeping an eye on the opponent and trying to react to their moves. It's a lot of fun. Alright, this should be almost enough. Oh, pretty much perfect. Okay, in that case, I will just... Okay, that should be enough. 43,000. And there we go. Awesome. Good work. Alright, looking good, looking good. nearing the end of Act 3 here. Got an endless trial, so this one is another score-based trial. Just the 2-chain will do here. A 2-chain with a bit of power on it. You need to clear a couple Puyos at once here in order to actually meet the score requirement, but it's not too bad. It's just a 2-chain with 2 colors clearing at once. And then you'll be happy. Good time. Sub 15. Sub 16. That'll do. Alright, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Okay, 3-9 is a marathon trial. Here we're going for points again. So these trials normally, it would be a matter of, you can see that there's 20 lines on the side. That is your limit of lines that you can clear in order to get the amount of points. So it's teaching you to maximize your line clears, like get as many points as you can. Because clearing a single does not yield as many, like 4 singles is not as effective as clearing 4 lines at once, which we call a Tetris. Alright, end of the act. There is a perfect clear here, actually. Always nice. Trying to look for the perfect clear. It can be a bit difficult sometimes. I think I found it actually. No, he sent me a line. Okay, I had the perfect clear there, but because I took a little too long, unfortunately, it is not going to work. And that is how you disrupt a perfect clear in a competitive match. If you notice that they're going for perfect clears, all you have to do is send them one line, and you're good. All right, Act 3 done, and Act 4 coming up. Act 4 introduces us to party mode, which is get more points than the opponent, which is trivial in a speedrun. So actually, good time for donations if there's any to shout out.
Yeah, fantastic. I do have a donation here. It's $25 from Alicat. He says, "Hey Yoshi, good luck with the run. Thank you for teaching me how to 4-wide. Donation goes to Asteroids Incentives and Bioshock 2. I should note the thank you there had a little question mark on there, so I'm not sure if it's a bit of a joke for you.
It is, 4-wide is the meta. An unfortunate meta. It's too simple to execute. Most people do not like it. But you're welcome, question mark.
It's a good time to remind people of incentives. We do have the Asteroid incentive for Bioshock 2, which has had $25 go toward it. $175 left on that incentive if you'd like to see the Asteroids game played in Bioshock 2, known as Den. Additionally, we also have a short hike to include the game. $385 left on that incentive. It's coming up very soon. It'll be coming up tomorrow morning, I believe. So get your donations in and make sure you list which incentive you'd like to include toward in that donation message.
Definitely some stuff coming up. Alright, so, you may notice we have a bit of a Tetris art going on here. That is a fun thing with the party mode stages. I get to show off a bit of stuff that you normally wouldn't see. So this is almost made it, almost all the way up. It'd be nice if the opponent just didn't send us any garbage, but that's a little hurtful, isn't it? Can we live up here? No, I guess we can't. Oh well. There's a name for that pattern. They call it secret grade. Why do they call it secret grade? It's a secret. Alright, just gonna fill up the points a little more then. And so this mode is not very competitive. You'll notice there's items falling on the board as well. It's more of a casual mode definitely, but I always thought it was a lot of fun. Throwing items into the mix is always a bit of a question mark. You know, Smash Bros. Players probably agree with that, but I've always thought they're super fun. Alright. Alright, and another T-spin. Wonderful. Oh, sub 9. That's very fast. Usually I'm only in sub 10. Alright, return of the swap stages. We have 3 more swap stages to get through in this act. Luckily, the nice thing is that the AI is not so slow, so usually the AI being bad is a good thing. No, here we want the AI to be fast, so that they can actually get the get these stages out of the way. Get them to, oh no, I misdropped a little bit. That's okay, we still have time, because again, the AI is fast, and actually does not take a billion years to do stuff. Nope, please face that. Okay. So, one other feature of swap is that whenever you're clearing stuff, it does not allow garbage to fall. So, if the opponent has lines to clear, they can stall out forever and ever. In other modes, it's not a problem because when you Oopsies, I'm going slow. Oh jeez.
No,
Okay, I got way too close.
I should
So-
have predicted this.
Another game modes, even if you try and clear stuff, if there is still garbage remaining above you, it is still going to fall on top of you. But that's not the case in Swap, because, again, like, it's very much a comeback mechanic. It allows you to continue clearing stuff and stay alive. But it's very annoying in speedrunning, because it prevents you from actually, like... It prevents the garbage from actually hitting the opponent, which means they can stall for a whole cycle. Like, even if you play perfectly and you send a billion garbage to them, you could send infinite garbage to them, but they could stall forever if they can clear lines. It's terrible. Terrible. Alright, give it me Tetris. Let's try and not mess it up this time. Alright. Okay, this is a good start. This is a very consistent setup for T-spins. So, the reason why it's so easy to play consistently in Tetris is because it actually works on a very set bag system. We call it a bag system, but what it is every 7 pieces you will get each of the 7 pieces, if that makes sense. So you'll always be guaranteed an eye piece within 13 pieces. Alright, so you have 7 pieces, and sorry, okay, you have 7 types of tetraminos, 7 types of pieces, and each 7 pieces it'll cycle through one of those 7. So you're guaranteed to get each of them, which is why perfect clears can actually, that's why we can make perfect clears. There's a lot of mathematics behind the setups in Tetris. A lot of the time we're calculating percentages of how consistent they are and stuff. So, very fun. Another party mode stage, if there's any more donations while I'm making funny patterns.
No additional donations at this stage, but I can give the quick spiels to just to remind everyone who you're raising money for. It's a fantastic cause. Just a reminder, we're a group of doing speedrunning events to raise money for a charity. In this case, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity working to raise the awareness of mental health issues and reduce the stigma around these issues to help people achieve the best possible mental health. If you would like to donate, feel free to go over to donate.ausspeedruns.com or type in !donate in the chat. And make sure you donate if you can.
Absolutely.
It's a fantastic cause.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, so here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of flex on the AI. We're just gonna do big chains because we can. In other parts of the speedrun, it's all about just getting those big 2 chains off. Here, we have a bit of time to actually dawdle and make some big chains, kill out the time, which is always nice. Hello. Would you like to not drop speed up me? Okay. This chain cuts a bit early so that I can actually get a bit more going. Let's see here. I need a blue here. Need a bit more to clear this. If he'll stop sending me garbage, we can actually get a very big chain. Ooh. This is not good. Oh, he's got a lot coming up. Alright, better set this off. Ah, the drop speed up is not letting me get my piece in place. Alright, we're gonna have to settle with this. There'll be more Puyo coming up, so we'll hopefully get some bigger chains in this, but this will do for now. Bit of a time loss because of the fact that we're going over timer, but we'll, okay, a 10 is humble beginnings. We'll get some more later. Alright. What a shade, going into another swap. Lots of fun here. Okie doke. Here we go, Tetris. Oh, let's not mess this up. It's so easy to misdrop in Tetris. There's so many different... I guess the matrix is very wide. Your playfield is very wide, which means that it's very easy to slip. In Puyo at least, the finesse, that's what we call the way you get pieces in place. The finesse is very simple, since it's only 4 columns. Okay, yeah, that was very good. Very good. Very fast. Right, good stuff. And... Fordash 9, this one is another score-based trial, no problem. Just a couple of T-spins. Should do the trick. Ah. Oh, there we go.
The day is mine.
The day is mine. Alright, coming up, another party stage. This one, we are gonna cook up some hamburgers, so I hope you'll enjoy those. Let's see here. So one other thing to note about party mode that's different from the other modes is, oh, hello, we've got pentameters. I did not intend to cook hamburgers with the pentameters. This is always a bit awkward. That's alright. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. My hamburger business is committed to making the best quality hamburgers no matter what circumstances arise. And it is very important. You have to be able to persist regardless of the circumstances we've been put into. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now we can continue. So if you keep an eye on... here we go. Okay. If you keep an eye on the right side of the board, you may notice a bit of a pattern coming along. Alright. This is what we call hamburger. The little layering. Let's see if we can get some more layers done. I'd like to, but the opponent is being very rude. And actually playing the game. Like, come on, who does that? Seriously. Okay, here we go. Nice, another layer done. AI is giving us some more time to do stuff. Nice. I always appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. We can do this. There we are. We can get one more lay down! Almost got the TPs in there. That's alright. It's a pretty little pattern.
I'm the Tetris kid.
He's spinning off to the side. Alright, Act 5. We've got 7 acts to go through. So we're gonna do that. Oh, I didn't finish my comment about party mode. Okay, when we get to the next party mode stage, I'll talk about that. Alright. Another Tetris vs Puyo stage. Easy to play Tetris, but again, because the opponent's playing Puyo, we're gonna have to keep an eye on how much score they accumulate. Because they can be very variable. Oh, they are actually doing a lot. Usually they do not clear these high chains. But apparently he's feeling a bit frisky. For context, he is a dancing fish. So, you know, if you've been having doubts, you need any reason to get into these games, there's a dancing fish in it! I don't think you can refuse his presence. His voice is great too. The voice acting in these games, always good. And the soundtrack, always top quality. Like, it is so much more than just a puzzle game. It is an experience like no other. Alright. Next up, another tiny trial. Lots of one chains coming up. Let's do this. So actually, same thing on party mode here. A couple of modes feature some more big Puyos. You'll probably notice that I have these Puyos that are not just pairs. In normal Puyo gameplay, like in competitive gameplay, you'll see only groups of, or pairs. You only see pairs. But in these special game modes, you'll get bigger Puyos. You get chunky Puyos. And a big thing for when you're trying not to lose time is splitting Puyos. So if you make a Puyo drop away from another, it uses more time than if you had dropped it manually. So ideally, you wanna minimize how much you split your Puyos, which is why I'm using those big Puyos, the ones that are not grouped. Oh, sorry, the ones that are in groups to clear out stuff. Alright, this should clear the squirrel comment. It's 80,000, so we actually do need to chain a little bit more here. You can go for a big 2 chain as well. I'm missing it by a little bit. Didn't power it quite as much as I should have. Almost there. Alright, this 2 chain should do it. Just need the green. There we are. Cool. Not bad, not bad. Sometimes you undershoot. It's easy to do, so it's alright. Rectify with a little chain, and it's so good. Now the party mode stage. So, you'll see it very clearly here. So chain building is actually a little more difficult when you have to deal with these funny Puyos. Like this big one here, you can change color. Searchlight, that's no problem. We have we have no issues with our chain right now. Actually, that's really good. Cool. It should be clean. What was my comment going to be? Yes, actually, so these funky pieces are actually predetermined. They're predetermined. Unlike the colors. The colors are all RNG based, but the actual piece formations are based on the color. Oh, sorry, not the color. The character that you pick. So while character picks in competitive gameplay don't actually make a difference, they're just all for aesthetic appeal. It's whoever you like the voice of. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of garbage. I thought the chain was going well. The chain is going well. The opponent's been a bit mean, but you know, what can you do? Loud and angry. That's alright. No problemo. We are just gonna keep doing our thing. Just keep chaining. There we go. Alright, this should... If I can not get sent a billion garbage from here on out, we should be able to achieve a pretty high chain. No That is the worst thing to receive at the top. That is tragic. Oh no. That is big bad RNG. Big bad RNG. Thankfully, again, party, no issue. No issue. It is just points requirement. I am in second right now, but we'll just clear up the other chain. We won't be able to get a huge chain. So, some of you may have said that looked very last second. I am inclined to agree. Failing a party stage would be very embarrassing. 2-minute time loss, it's horrible. Do not want to deal with that. Alright, this one is another simple stage, just a teaspoon single. Oh, hello. What? I am misdropping left, right, and center. Hello. There it is. Okay. A little messy. I can deal with that though, that's no problem. Alright, another fever trial here. Okay. Let's see, what do we need here? Okay. This is on track. Perfect pace. Let's see here. Might be able to even check chat a little bit in between the chains clearing, because the chain clearing is just basically a bit of dead time. Let's see. Column 3 is death just because, yeah, it's also where the pieces spawn, so a lot of puzzle games will just use the principle of if your piece can't spawn, you're dead. And Puyo follows that same thing as well, which is why in Party as well, the X's are in both column 3 and 4, because most characters have pieces that come in groups of 3 and 4 sometimes. And that means that they fill out 2 columns, which is why both the middle columns are death columns. Happy little spins indeed. No misdrops. Okay, this AI is a lot of fun. She doesn't rotate. Why? No one knows. In the old games, so okay, little history thing here. Sega hasn't always owned Puyo. Originally, it was owned by a company named Compile. They developed the first 4 games, and then they went bankrupt. So Sega actually picked it up from there, and in the original games, in the Sega era games, she just stopped rotating. In the original game, she was very good. In the Compile era ones, she was one of the latest AIs, like one of the ones that you'd encounter late in the game. Here, she's just... No one knows why they took her ability to rotate away, but... You know, it's tragic. Even when you set her to the highest difficulty you can, because with all CPUs you can actually set them to this thing they call core AI, it's hardcore AI. But even on hardcore AI, she just doesn't rotate. She refuses to rotate, so sometimes she'll just take herself out. She didn't here, which is unfortunate. It's always a fun thing to see. But sometimes she'll literally just put Puyos everywhere and not be able to clear any chains because her Puyos are not oriented correctly. It is tragic. Alright, coming up, 5-8. This is 8 lines, and then we have 5-9, which is a stage which is very notorious as a huge difficulty spike in the gameplay. Not in the gameplay, sorry, but the AI is very good. I think they kind of try and trick you into thinking that he's the final boss, which is completely fair. He was the final boss in a couple of the games now. He's the one who flooded the world in Puyo's in the game that I mentioned earlier. But, you know, with the power of speedrunning skills, we are just gonna tell him, no, we don't want to deal with your business. I didn't get the second perfect clear. Unfortunate. Otherwise, you can. Oh, hold on. Second perfect clear. Goodbye. Sub 20. You can sub 10 this stage if you get the perfect RNG for the double perfect clear. But yeah, no. If you ever had issues with him and you wanted to smack in the head, hopefully that suffices your hunger for that. Very good music in these stages too. Very, very good. I've always loved the soundtrack for this stage. Right, all we need is that big 2 chain. Oh, it's a 3 actually. But 2 would have done the job. And this one is actually relatively easier because sometimes he just doesn't react to anything. in Tetris he reacts to a lot of stuff, unless, you know, you take him out too quickly. But in Puyo he's a bit blah. Alright, Act 6 now. Act 6 is a bit of a filler act. They go into their dreams and fight memories of their rivals, I guess, people that they know, in order to get stronger. It's the getting stronger arc. So, one fun thing here actually is, as I said, in Party, you have characters. Character picks actually matter because they change what drop set you get, what types of pieces you get. But this character in particular, Al, she's this blue-clad girl. She actually has been wearing this armor. Well, in one of the original games, it was noted that she wears it 375 days a year. So, you know, stinky. But also, because she was the protagonist of the original series, she receives only pairs. She doesn't receive any of these funky new pieces. It's a nice little throwback to, a callback to the fact that she was that original protagonist, and you know, she was featured in the games where they didn't have any funky mechanics yet. So you know, it makes building chains a lot easier. So we should be able to get a big one here. It looks like we have a good setup going. Wow, the opponent's being so aggressive. I'd love to get a 15 chain here, but he is just not letting me. Hopefully this will suffice. Alright, let's see here. Did I say 375 days a year? 365? I may have said 375, wouldn't be surprised. Alright. Cool. Alright, you know what? We have time. Let's build another chain. Let's see what we can get. Okay. Almost there. Come on, give me a blue. Alright, we're good. I'm gonna lose a bit of time to cool chaining, but you know what? I think it's flashy. I think it's cool. That's fine. And it does a cool little thing where if you do overkill in these stages, it wobbles their board, and if you do enough damage, it'll literally just spin the opponent's board out. It'll just vanish into the distance. Not into the distance. It'll fly off screen though. Fun little visuals. Again, just little things like that add to the personality of this game, and why I appreciate it so much. 20 lines. We can do that. Okay, Tetris stacking coming along nicely. Oh wow, 21 seconds for 20 lines. That is very good. Very happy with that one. See this as an absolute win? Me too. Alright, another Puyo vs Puyo stage. Very, very normal one, so this is where we're going to be using this chunky 2-chain strategy. We call it Death Tower, because it is very much a tower, and it is full of death. So, you know. Bye-bye! Alright. That was perfect! I'd say that was pretty perfect. Alright, 6-4, another tiny chow. Bunch more 1-chains coming up. So you can see I'm slamming all these pairs down in the middle so that I don't have to split them. Because they don't require splitting, whereas the big Puyos here, if I were to split them, the second Puyo would fall into the, like, adjacent column very, very slowly. Okay, I'll do it with this last piece just to demonstrate. But, like, yeah, you can see there's a lot of wait time doing that split. Well, it might not seem like much, but it does add up if you did it a whole bunch of times. I did it there because it was the last piece, and so, you know, slamming down that piece and then just not doing anything else would be a bit silly, you know? Oh, sorry. Slamming down that piece just to get another piece that wouldn't split would be a bit silly. So it's situational. You can split. It's not like just completely terrible when it's going to destroy all of your runs. But it is preferable not to when you can. In a lot of cases. Alright. Oh, solid chain coming up here actually. This looks good. Ooh, that's very tight. That's okay. We're not dead. That is what matters. Ooh, my chain almost completely works. This would have been a really nice big chain. You know, it's kind of cool looking. We'll take the cool looking chains. It means they resolve faster, right? It means it's good for speedrunning. And it's still a 10. I'd say the 10's pretty good. In competitive matches, you'll see stuff like, in pro matches at least, you'll see upwards of like 15 chains just being thrown around at each other so casually. It's crazy how good they are at building chains. But that's because chain building isn't really the goal in high level matches. Like the goal is to get a higher chain than the opponent, but in order to get that, you know, you're throwing around attacks a bunch to try and disrupt the opponent's builds. It's crazy good. The mid game of Puyo is so intense. There's so much going on. Alright, I think this is another solid chain. 11. 11's pretty good. We do love our chunky chains.
Yoshi, I'm not sure if you mentioned this yet, but do you have a preferred game for Tetris vs. Puyo?
Oh, okay. So this bit of an origin story here is I got Puyo on the Xbox. This is actually a very rare version of the game. On the Xbox, back when I was like 3-ish, and apparently, I don't remember this, but I used to also play Tetris back then. But because I had started with Puyo, I think I've gravitated a little more towards Puyo. I'd say Puyo I do also have a preference for because of the there's no like age associated what do you call it? Like physical ability. Okay, this is terrible. I just need Paralyze. usually you hit the climber by now. But the thing with Tetris is it can be very speed based. You're slamming down your pieces, trying to clear lines as fast as possible. Puyo, its inputs are very simple. So the pro players are actually mostly in their like 30s, 40s. They've been playing for a long time, but like because the inputs are so simple, you don't actually have to worry about. There's a very obvious what do you call it? Speed cap. There's a speed cap to the game, which makes it very accessible, and I think that's very much something to admire. Making a game that can play so competitively, but that, you know, anyone can play, regardless of if you're like 60 years old. You could still input it. It's just down arrow, left arrow, right arrow, and rotation buttons. Whereas Tetris, you can see here, it is very fast button inputting. One more Tetris here. This is not quite how I want to do this. Alright. 6-9. Notice the number for this stage. It might sound funny, right? 6-9. Oh, funny! Boy, do I have something else in store. Right, if there's any other donations as well to read out now, this would also be a good time.
Not at this stage, but if it's possible, I got another question for you.
Absolutely, any questions.
Obviously, Puyo may be your preferable game, but Tetris-wise, obviously, you're doing incredibly. What would you say for a lot of people view Tetris as a bit of a difficult game to get into? What's your number one tip for someone wanting to get into Tetris and become very good at it, such as yourself?
Right, so the biggest thing to start off with is not speed or anything. Even though there's a very big focus on speed in high-level play, you really want to get good at just... It's a weird thing to say, not making holes though. Like, that really is just a big thing to focus on. It's the ability to visualize where you can place pieces so that... I overshot the funny number! I apologize to everyone. But, what was I gonna say? Yes, there are a lot of guides out there that'll help you analyze situations. But you have 5 next pieces, right? You have 5 of your next pieces to analyze, and using that knowledge, you can figure out how to just clear lines without creating any holes. So that's the biggest thing. Just focus on how to stack up high without making any holes. One thing we're gonna do here. We're gonna clear the stage without clearing any lines. No line clears. So this is the opposite of what you want to be doing if you want to get good at Tetris. Do not do this. Don't focus on building T-spins. Don't worry about any fancy nonsense. Just play the game normally. Don't do this. This is a terrible idea. Oh, I will point out the 3-star requirement too. We're gonna get the 3-star requirement. This is also a very good idea. It is possible to do this because of the point bonus that T-spins give you. But yes, learning to stack optimally, not making any holes, and maximizing your line clears. I suppose that's a big thing as well. You want to be able to not just stack cleanly, but stack cleanly in a way that you can put your eyepiece, that's the blue one coming up now, the long bar as they call it in the classic Tetris community. You want to be able to here's another T-spin. You want to be able to clear as many lines as possible with each line clear. So you're maximizing the efficiency of your line clears essentially. Almost there. Right. We almost have the score comment for 3 stars now too. What else do I have to say about that improvement? If there's any other clarifying questions also, definitely feel free to keep them my way if there's any in chat or if you have any questions of your own. Okay, we need to win. I did not clear the stage without clearing. This is a tragedy. Oh yes, you even get T giving you a bunch of dots. That was tragic. He sent Tetris and stuff at the end. That usually there is not that aggressive, but today Marathon did not kick in for the stage. So it's okay. This time. I promise we'll do it. Okay. Good start. Lots of T-spins here. Okay, take that damage. Okay. I think I was being too inefficient. Again, efficiency is the key here. You want to maximize all the pieces, like the usage of all the pieces that you get. You don't want to be wasting that many. Whoosh! There we go. The reason the opponent's able to even keep up with me though is because every time you top yourself out, the opponent receives garbage. Sorry, not garbage. They receive points, and they'll receive even more points if you are ahead. So, moral of the lesson: don't actually try and take yourself out a whole bunch. But if it's necessary, know that the opponent's going to be receiving some score for it as well. Yeah, there's another one. Hold on, almost there. Okay. If we just keep ahead now, we should be A-okay. With the 3-star requirement and all. Okay, we're just gonna do a bit of stalling here. Okay. 4, 3, 2. Yeah, Modern Tetris also allows you to stall a whole bunch as well. But there we go. Yes, I'm talking to a lot of people right now. I won! Got my cousins here today. That is why you might have heard a bit of shouting in the background. There we go. No line clears! The final party stage with no line clears. Absolutely wonderful. You can do it fast. Okay, so here's the final game mode. Fusion. Some hate it, some love it, I don't know. I've always thought it was a delicious mess. So you'll notice that the chaining system in this mode is actually quite different. It's quite unique. It's an active system, so whenever you clear stuff, it'll actually let you keep putting down more stuff. And that's how you keep chains going, because you can't build proper chains in this mode, it's just impossible. So what you do is, this one is very much a speed game as well, where you're actively clearing lines and clearing Puyos in order to make a big chain. Big thing to notice here as well is that the Tetraminos will smash through your Puyos, so they'll sink to the bottom of your board. So that's very important because the garbage works the same way. The garbage is more blobby. It's like the Tetraminos. So in order to actually beat the opponent as fast as you can, you don't want them to smash through any of your garbage that you send, because otherwise, that's a waste. So you always want them to be placing Puyos, because they don't smash through any of the garbage. That is the most efficient way. So it's very much a cycling thing. You don't want to send the garbage too early, but you don't want to send it too late either. You have to do it when they're in their Puyos. Because it'll cycle between Puyos and Tetraminos. I think it's like 4 Tetraminos and then a bunch of Puyos. Alright, last score-based challenge for FIFA mode. Alright, let's see, what do we need here? This is a good start. Gave me an all clear. Nice piece. Ooh, another all clear. Thank you, game. Very kind. Alright. Need blue. Here we go. Alright, very nice. A lot of the time you'll actually need to clear 4 chains worth in order to get the point requirement. But if you get all clears, it boosts your chain number up a little bit. And so if you get the boost from like being lucky enough to get those all clears, you will be able to clear the stage in only 3 chains. Very nice. Right, another fusion stage coming up. Let's do it. Kids are a bit streamy right now. I apologize if it is being a bit rough on the ears. Okay, let's see. Oh no! Okay, I ended my chain too early there. I'm gonna smash through a bit of that. There we go, that should do it. Oh, come on. Okay, so this doesn't happen much, and this is why I didn't mention it, but just like in Swap, whenever you clear stuff in Fusion, it stops the garbage from falling. And the AI was doing that a lot. You'll see also, it is very slow when the Tetraminos crush through the garbage. Very, very slow. Bit of a slow stage, bit unfortunate. It happens though, that's okay. Yes. Alright, 7-5. Getting closer to the end of the game here. You'll see the background's a bit wacky. That's because we are literally at the edge of space-time. Yes, the edge of space-time. In order to stop the dimensions merging, we have to travel here. Game ends at 7-10, so we're approaching that end now. Another fusion stage here. Reason is basically, it's gotten so chaotic by this point. There's so many Puyos and Tetraminos raining down on them, but I have to clear both of them at once. So, make a game mode out of that. There we go. Nice. Oh, I didn't mean to extend my chain. Oops. That's alright. As long as he's clearing. If only is only, bleh. No, why no? Oh, sub 30 there. Very nice. I'll take that. 7-7, this is the, I believe, final trial. Final, like, solo trial. This one requires you to be a big 5 chain or a big 2 chain, if you can count. So let's see, we've got 4, 5, 6... I need a green, please. Okay, this should do it. There we go. 83,000. The score requirement is 80,000, so if you get a big enough 2 chain, you'll also be able to clear it. Very nice. Okay, 7-8. Final swap stage. Usually this one is the nicest one, because again, it's at the end of the game, the AI is very fast. It just actually receives garbage, which is nice. But, sometimes it's not... Oh, okay, you know what? Marathon lock. Marathon lock, give us this all clear. 3 chain to get the initial damage hit, and the all clear will follow up with more damage. Beautiful. Ah, no, the AI is stalling. Stop! Stop!
Good move.
There it is. Alright. Thankfully they only cleared one thing. If they cleared two, I don't know if it would have been good enough. Here we also have our final character. Spoiler alert, but like, you know, you're seeing the final boss here. He got sad. He let the dimensions merge because he got sad. And like, he just lost control. It's a very tragic story. That's literally the reason why we're here. It's the reason why the dimensions decided to merge. Because he got sad. So they're here to beat him up to make him feel better. Because you know what? Beating up your good friends is the best way to solve every situation, isn't it? That's literally what the game plays out to be.
Good move.
People are fighting each other because it's fun.
Using my edge. I never back down.
Now, 7-10. 7-10. I think we got a bit of time. So, we are going to have a bit of fun. I hope you all like calculus. Because, we're gonna save the world with calculus. A lot of calculus. Gonna have a bit of fun here. Ah! AI is being too aggressive right now. Oh my gosh! Please stop. T, he's usually not that good. He's not letting me get my chain ready. Oh my gosh! Please stop. That's okay. We have plenty. Definitely. No, please, T. I request that you stop right now.
Do we have time for one donation?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. We have a $48 donation coming from Mitsu. Says, I absolutely love the commentary, Yoshi. With a big old happy face.
Aw, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And very much appreciate the donation too. Going to a great cause. Alright, here we are, reaching the top now. 48, actually. 48 is double of 24. 24 is the funny number. Final call here. It is a funny number because 24 means Puyo. Why does it mean Puyo? Because 2 can be pronounced as Fu in Japanese, and 4 can be pronounced as Yo. So, in Japan, the way they teased one of the Puyo games was they put up 24247 on a thing in the background, which meant Puyo 7. And that was a teaser back then. Very fun. And through the power of calculus, we have saved the world. That's time, by the way. Should have mentioned that, but I was too busy chaining. Alright. And that is that. See, I did it. With that, we have cleared the adventure mode of Puyo Tetris. At least not DLC. Cleared the story mode.
Well done. It's very impressive. Honestly, watching one puzzle game is hard enough for someone who can't really play it, but watching you master both and doing so well with that, that's absolutely incredible. I'm sure that chat agrees with me there. Is there anything you wanted to plug, any community, how to get into this sort of speed running, or even plug your own channel?
Oh, okay. So, as for plugs, the English Puyo community is the Discord go-to if you want to get into Puyo and you're an English player. We host monthly events. One's coming up, I think, next weekend, next Saturday. So, definitely stay tuned for that. I'm also currently working on a Puyo tutorial series of my own. Puyo is a bit hard to get into because of the lack of online guides and stuff, but I'm looking to rectify that. So, if you'd like to keep up to date on my YouTube channel, that's where I'm doing stuff. Otherwise, I tend to stream Puyo and Tetris on my own channel, and if you ever want to ask any questions, feel free to pop in.
Fantastic. Well, with that, we're going to head over to intermission before the next game. One of my